Hey, good afternoon, world. It's Carm Capriato, Aftermarket Weekly, week 153. Look at that smiling face sitting on that graphic. Isn't that cool? Love this guy, Matt Lachowitzer. Hello, Matt. How are
Hey,
you?
good. How are you?
I am super duper from Matt's Automotive Service Center, Fargo-Moorhead, North Dakota, Minnesota, and all points around and in between, 10 locations out there. And before we turned on the mics, he was telling me about all the new places he's getting ready to consider. I'm just so happy for you. One of the reasons that you're here is to talk about how you keep a group engaged and communicative between each other and high culture, because that's what your business image is to the community. It's a great company and a high culture and a great brand. And we want to talk about this. When I talked to Matt about, well, we closed the company down, the entire company, and had a conference, and I said, we got to talk about this. I want to see the pictures of what you're doing and why you did it. And it just may encourage some more people in the industry to say, hey, you know what? Our people, our company, our vision, our mission, our values, training, our leadership is almost more important than we want to ignore the fact that we don't want to stop and get together.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for being here. We're coming to you live from the Remarkable Results Radio podcast studio, the Dorman OE Fix studio, and thank you so much, Dorman, for your continued support.
Hey, we all know that fixing cars is different than how the OE builds them. Now, take fuel lines, for instance. Fuel lines run and rust along with the chassis of the vehicle by nature. Now, especially in the colder months, trucks can be exposed to snow, salt, or rain, causing failure due to the corroded fittings, deterioration in the line. Now, to help you in your wallet, Dorman Products' team of engineers have redesigned the typical fuel line. Introducing Dorman's flexible stainless steel braided fuel lines. Made from braided stainless steel over flexible PTFE tubing, this upgraded material features a corrosion-resistant design. Each fuel line is an exact fit with the dimensions of each application. Now, improved durability is the highlight of this new design. This innovation is a Dorman OE fix, which means it's something that the original manufacturer doesn't offer. These fuel lines are quality assured and backed by their team of product experts and more than a century of automotive experience. Hey, want to learn more about Dorman's innovations? Visit dormanproducts.com/tour.
Thank you, Dorman. Okay, Matt, thanks for being here. Let's talk about your strategy for holding this company meeting.
Yeah, so I think the biggest part of it was we really just wanted to get, we have stores that are 4 hours apart from each other, and we really wanted to have something that brought everyone together, but it had a purpose as well. And some of our purpose was, connecting, differentiation, engagement, and really bringing that all together and everything we brought to our team and the training we offered and the people we brought in to speak to them and all that was really geared around those 3 items.
Tell me about differentiation. That's interesting.
Yeah, so going through this process, we brought a speaker in named Mark Schauenbach, and his message is "Nice Bike," and it's really built around, he talks about a story where he was speaking for this company about, they sell a box, and it's a regular cardboard box, and how to really differentiate themselves and how they grew more than their competitors, even though they were more expensive. And really, what does that mean? And how do we differentiate ourselves? And we had discussions about that. And it was really kind of the message tied into exactly what we were trying to accomplish there, is really getting people to think, how are we different from other places? How do we differentiate ourselves in the industry, in our communities? And we broke everyone into groups, and they had to come up with different things about, that. And then we actually had them put on different skits in front of their coworkers to kind of see, who came up with the best idea for how we're different than other places.
I love that analogy. I mean, think about it to our listener. The industry, or I'm sorry, the consumer probably looks at all of us as just this cardboard box.
Yep.
And until we open our mouth and say the right things or say what's passionately inside of us to the customer, we're your high-tech place to keep your vehicle safe and reliable. We're your Google. We are, all that engineering that goes into that car that we have to go to training to figure out and learn so that we can make your car safe and reliable. we're not telling enough people, and I think to your point, of the fact that what's inside this box that you see is different than any other.
Yep. That
Well,
was
you
pretty
you
cool stuff.
you kind of raised your whole company like that.
Yep. That's kind of been our mission. One of our values is obviously being, different, like, and showing and raising the industry itself. And if we can raise ourselves, it's going to challenge the places around us to raise their quality and their standards as well.
Matt, how do you look at the communication between your, office counter and back of store? I mean, I call it, front of store, front of office, back of store. Do you use any kind of software to keep in touch?
They use Slack. That's one of the things they use a lot. Obviously, we use email and things like that. We have Teams for our front staff, so we have a couple different ways they can message each other. The other thing that we do, every person that works in our company has an Amazon Echo Show, which is basically a video device, so they can actually drop in on each other and communicate. So our technicians use it a lot to communicate with each other. So let's say, store 1 is struggling with something and they call a shop foreman at store 8 and say, hey, have you seen this? They can be on almost like FaceTime, where they can have a video conference with each other and talk to each other face to face instead of just picking up the phone and calling each other.
So you have your built-in, if you will, wiki issues where you would type in something, or at least, again, I love the whole call a friend thing. We were out in Cleveland last week, and what was so interesting is to see the combination of technicians at Mighty Auto Pro in Medina, and the realization that they all in their brains somewhere have case studies, don't they? Everyone does. I've had this problem before, and and by the way, I looked here, and here, and you may want to skip them and go right to here, so you can almost, if you will, shortcut your way instead of looking for a silver bullet. Use your internal company for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, the I believe in the kind of the masterminds of more people, more minds together create better results and better culture and things like that. So we're really big on these guys communicating with each other. They use these devices. Let's say they're looking up trying to find a part from the front, they can drop in on the back and say, hey, does this part look right, or whatever. They don't have to. The whole goal is to keep everyone in their bays, but also connect everyone.
I love it. So you were chatting with the people in your network and saying, yeah, I'm closing down the business, and that we're on a weekday. Am I right?
3 weekdays.
3 weekdays
Yep, it was 3 days
altogether.
altogether.
You shut down your revenue stream from 10 stores for 3. Let's just do the math. This amazing,
It's over 300 grand.
over 300 grand of revenue you shut down so that you could have a meeting.
Yep.
In the back of your mind, or on a piece of paper, I would hope, did you have an ROI figured out for this?
My controller obviously had a little bit of a heart attack, but I told him it'd be fine. But ironically, we've seen about a 12% increase across the board in all of our stores since that training happened. So I mean, it's not going to take super long to create that, and we're actually working on moving this event. We did it in January. We're actually going to move it to the week of Thanksgiving, so our team actually will end up with a whole week off of working on cars the week of Thanksgiving. So we'll be doing another one this fall, and then that'll be kind of our company day. So
Wow. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday conference,
yep,
Thursday through Sunday off.
yep.
Damn. I may just have to come and work there. How cool is that? We have some pictures. Matt send us pictures, and we want to bring up some pictures and have Matt do a little narration on them. It looks like a fabulous group shot there, Matt.
Yeah, so we did this. It was about pretty much as people were leaving. There was about 12 people that had to leave early that day. That was the last day of our event, because we have people that drove several hours. Obviously, we put them up in hotels and stuff like that, but they want to get home to their families too. But we did this kind of impromptu at the very end, and everybody just said, let's be goofy for a few photos. So that's what we did. We took some serious ones too, but this actually wound up being one of my favorites, because that's the personality of us.
Wow, that is so cool. Now, look, everyone's there, from office right down to, even if you have some GS, even shuttle drivers, right?
Yep. So this photo would be our admin people and some of those like accounting office, some of the marketing, that stuff. Marketing actually is who took the pictures and stuff, but that's the a good chunk of our technicians and service advisors and managers. I think, like I said, I think we're missing 12 that had to leave early, but
Got it. Next picture. It looks like there's some training going on here.
Yep. So we broke everybody into kind of, we had a pretty good layout of how we wanted to do this. So we broke some of our office staff into, depending on their roles and stuff, we had them training on different things. We had service advisors, managers doing different training, and then we had technicians doing different training. We brought in some trainers. We also built some in-house classes for our technicians. So everybody was broken into 2 or 3 or 4 groups, depending on the sessions. And, this is my district manager, Vern. He's teaching a class on tires for our service advisors. And then kind of just broke everybody up. This is one of our training rooms in one of our buildings. It fits about 60 people. So.
Okay, so that was my next question. Where did you hold this? It was at your HQ?
Yep, it was in North Moorhead, our main location. So this is a 11,800 square foot building. So.
Got it. And you have a training room. Was this just one breakout right here?
Yep, this is just one breakout.
I loved where you said we built our own technician training classes. Give me some background on that.
Yeah, so we do quarterly training with our technicians. We broke it into our 2 locations. But how biggest thing was, stuff that we did. We had our lead technician oversees all of our shop foremen and all the technicians of the company. He does a lot of our training on the technical side. So we really wanted to kind of hone in on a couple items. Like we wanted to make sure there was consistency in our inspections. We wanted to make sure that everybody really knew what the customer was looking for in a story, not just what we were looking for. So we had a class on writing an effective story that builds value. We also did some classes. He bugged some vehicles, and actually we had some hands-on stuff where they actually got to dig in. They were broken into teams, a stronger tech and a weaker tech. We let the weaker tech kind of drive, with the stronger tech understanding that this is what they're there for, is to kind of guide this person to learn and grow. So we had electrical, we had some check engine stuff, and we kind of broke those into groups as well. And then we also brought in Hakan Light. He taught a full day of 2 different classes as well.
Oh, you brought in Hakan. Oh, how cool is that? He's done some episodes with Matt Fonslow.
Yeah.
Great guy, smart guy. Hey, look, if you're listening to this through audio, but you'd also like to see the video, our YouTube channel, you could find that on the show notes page or on the description right there on your podcast player, and head over and watch these actual pictures going on the video. The next picture, what is this? Some kind of award?
This actually was a gift from my staff. It kind of just came out of nowhere, but one of my technicians, actually a few of my technicians that have been with me a very, very long time, we've had different t-shirts over the years and things like that. And one of my technicians actually is avid, he likes to sew. And so they came up with this idea, and he actually made the blanket out of different versions of our t-shirts. And they presented that to me right before the end of our 3rd day.
That is just the coolest.
Yeah.
I was going to think it's a quilt, but it's really a blanket.
Yep.
I can see that hanging in your office, maybe.
It's actually sitting in my house. I'm right next to my. I have a little reading area with a fireplace, so it's kind of sitting there where I kind of do my reading. So.
How nice! Wow, what an honor! What a tribute! They care about this great company. How neat is that? Next slide.
So this was hacking in doing the German cars class. This is one of 2 classes he taught. Kind of in there. This was all of our technicians. Obviously, if you take a step back, there's like 2 more rows of tables and chairs.
Sure.
But we have about 40, I think right around 42, 45 technicians in there. So definitely was well received. They were really engaged. I know Haken was very impressed with our people, and we have a few Mercedes master technicians in the company as well, so they really enjoyed the class as well. And then some people that hadn't been exposed to this yet, whether a general service tech or a C-level tech, this was really awesome. They were really engaged, and there was a lot of notes taken, so it was really good to see that.
And you're not a specialty shop, right?
No, we're general repair. We work on everything.
And that, to me, is the beauty of having many general repair technicians today. having a if you will, a walkthrough on Mercedes. How
Yep.
cool! It was just more than Mercedes, I'm sure,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. What was the feedback? What kind of feedback did you get, Matt, on holding this?
So we had everybody fill out surveys on every class that was done, every breakout session, everything we did. Overall, I would say we got like a 98. Obviously, by the third day, everybody was kind of technician-wise, they were kind of sick of sitting a little bit more. So we took that feedback. We'll try to make it a little bit more so they get up a little bit more often. So probably do some more hands-on stuff with that. But the feedback itself was through the roof. I mean, everybody loved it. They really felt connected, which was one of the biggest things we were trying to accomplish, is that connection. Not just with the company, but with each other and what our mission is to the public.
Any extracurricular activities that people could look forward to, say a night of golf or
Well, unfortunately,
darts?
it was January, so in
Oh,
January it's about -20 here, so there was no golfing, unfortunately. But we did have some
I was
events.
thinking of Topgolf actually, but you're absolutely right. It's still outdoors, yes.
Yeah, so we did have some events. We had everybody out. We did a few dinners and stuff like that if they wanted to come, and everybody kind of was able to connect outside of the event as well. So
Bowling.
that could have been one. I should have thought of that. I'll write
Especially
that
in
down.
Minnesota. I've been there in the winter. I would rather have the snow here in Buffalo than the cold over there. Oh my, it's so true. All right, let's look at another one of your pictures here. Here we go. Oh, there's your author.
Yep. So this is Mark Schornbach. He's an Emmy award-winning speaker. Ironically, he's actually based on Minneapolis, and I had seen him speak 5, 6 years ago. We attend the a customer service revolution conference every year in Cleveland, held by John DeJulius, and he was one of their speakers they had in, and really was mesmerized by the message he had and the energy he had. And so I've been able to see him speak a few times, and I just knew if I was going to do an event, he was going to be my first speaker. So wound up reaching out to him. We kind of worked things through some things, and ironically, he had a car that has been in 3 places, couldn't be fixed, and so we were able to fix that as well. And he's wound up being a customer of ours now as well. But it's been a lot of fun. It was fun because he really came in and dug into our culture, and he really was there and present. And after his message, he was really impressed with what we did. And he was actually speaking at a tire convention in Mexico or somewhere, and I get a text from a coach in the industry, and he's like, hey, I'm sitting here in Mexico, and we're at a conference, and here I am hearing about this awesome shop in Minnesota who has this great culture. And so he's sitting there talking about us a few days later at his next conference speech that he does. So really kind of cool that he was able to see that, we are different, but yet the message itself was so cool.
So interesting that you brought up John DeJulius. I really should get to that Cleveland seminar since I've interviewed John twice. I'll just share with my audience episode 559 and episode 807. I have to tell you, I think he may be just one of the best customer experience people out there. And we talk about John a lot on the show when it comes to the kinds of customer intimacy that you need to have. And if you're appreciate what Matt is doing and the culture that he has and the reputation he has in his marketplace, and think that he has been a follower of John DeJulius for so long, it obviously shows. Let's see. I think we've got some more pics. Let me just go find another picture. And here is his name is Mark, right?
Yep, Mark Schornbach.
Yeah.
So this is him telling the box story about how do you differentiate yourselves? How do you take something that's a commodity and sell it for more than your competitors and grow your business still? And
And
that was really
yeah,
kind of cool.
and have your customers say thank you very much. I'll have another.
Yep. And that's probably the coolest thing, is, I mean, it really resonated with a lot of our staff, because people think auto repair is a commodity. Our customers think we're a commodity. So how do we be different? How do we be the more expensive box and provide that differentiating piece?
Cool. Another one. It looks like you must have hired this guy to come in and talk to the
Yeah,
audience.
yeah. I don't know. This guy probably got the worst scores of all of them, but I was teaching a class on the customer life cycle and customer experience and engagement, and really just trying to go through, how do why is it so important to collect forward, and why is that such a big deal in our guests, life cycle. So it's talking about, building that relationship from the minute they start communicating with us, and what does it look like, and what does each customer mean to us, and how do we keep them. And a really, really fun class. It's an interactive class. We do a lot of role playing in this one, so we bring out a bunch of different scenarios that could be in front of them they see on a daily basis, and kind of work through different curveballs that get thrown into it, so they all can take pieces out of that.
Really nice looking training facility. It looks like you got a wood wall back there. You've got, of course, the whiteboard, the screen. It's totally equipped.
Yeah, it's a 14-foot whiteboard, and then we have a 14-foot 4K projector screen that goes right behind it. So
Yeah, how nice. Ford, you mentioned everybody when we come on the show, we drop the acronym FORD from John DeJulius. Why don't you tell everyone what FORD means?
yeah, so FORD stands for Family, Occupation, Recreation, and Dreams. And we are very, very big in our company. Every person that touches a customer or a car has a part to play in that. So our technicians, if they see hockey sticks in the back of the vehicle, or they see the Harry Potter sticker, or whatever it might be, that's part of FORD. And so our technicians are tasked with collecting FORD just as much as our front staff is. Our admin people, and they give customer rides and things like that. That's all FORD stuff that they come back, and we're very, very big on recording that information.
I love it. And it goes to show that you can take the principles of John DeJulius, bring it to the company, embed it in your culture, and have it pay huge dividends. And that's what it differentiates the box.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Next slide. What are these cookies?
So this was actually a surprise. This was not even something we did. So one of our technicians' moms owns a side business where she does these cookies, and he showed up with these the morning of training.
Okay,
And
now I'm going to send a message to Tracy, who is, of course, producing this show for us. Tracy, we need cookies for the podcast. Boy, I love this. I got to tell you, when I saw this slide, Matt, and if you're listening through audio and you're not looking at this, there's a cookie that says eat, sleep, fix cars, and repeat. I just love that.
we we have a shirt that says that, and every new technician that comes into our company gets that as part of their welcome package.
How neat. Rinse and repeat, right? Eat, sleep, fix cars, and repeat. Who came up with that? You?
Yeah, we have this, and then we have a coffee cup they get that says, "I'm a technician. What's your superpower?" So
God.
they kind of just, we like the fun, loose kind of feelings. So that's kind of what we kind of go with on that side. So
Yeah. So it's probably the reason you started your own coaching company, Hammer Consulting, is because of all this great culture you guys do.
we try really hard. It's very, very important that the people that work for us are part of our team and our family, and they feel that every single day.
Wonderful. Final slide.
So this is our Rockstar of the month. We about 4.5 years ago, I decided I really wanted to do something that just really stood out, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, why not? Like places I worked as a technician, they used to have like butcher trophies when people had wrecked something. It got added onto the trophy and it got passed around. And I'm like, why can't we do something that elevates this and really? And I thought, okay, what about a belt? So we did some research and we were able to figure out how to make our own, and so that's what we did. So it's got flying wrenches on it. It says Rockstar of the Month, and every month this gets awarded to a new team member. And this is one of our shop foremen, but they have to do something that's, they don't have to do anything extra, but they just have to show that they're doing our process, they're following our culture, they're elevating the people around them, and their attitude is top notch with what we're trying to expect from our people. And so every month a new person gets this, and it's been an awesome thing. They get a big thing on Facebook about them, and they get to answer some questions. We sometimes do a video depending on the person, and so it's just really kind of cool. This particular person, I acquired the store that he was the shop foreman at, and he was very unsure at first, just like most people are when they get acquired. But kind of a quiet setback guy, and through our tutelage and training, he's become an absolute wonderful leader, and really brought a lot out of him, and it's been really fun to see the change in him.
Well, I see the blanket in the background, which is really nice to have on display. And if anyone is not watching this, and maybe you will go to our YouTube channel, Carm Capriotto YouTube channel, it looks like a wrestler's belt.
It is.
Yes, it is so cool. It is so cool. I can see him wearing it over his shoulder at meetings.
Yep. It's not uncommon for people to, especially the first few days after they get it, to actually come in with it on their shoulder every morning. So it's kind of a fun thing that we get some cool photos of after they win. So
amazing stuff. Matt, I don't know where you find the time to acquire, to coach, to lead this great team. Obviously, you have hired some superstars that believe in you and in the company, and you just trust them to do the job.
Yeah, I've had to, obviously, one of my biggest things from day one is I wanted to hire people that had the ability to be better than me, and train them, coach them with what I have, and then allow them to kind of run. And I've been very fortunate to have people that are absolute superstars in my company that have allowed me to do some of the things that I'm passionate about, whether it's coaching, whether it's growing our company. I love being involved in the training side of things still. I like being involved in marketing a little bit still, but my main focus has always been helping people, and we've been able to do that through our fixing cars.
We are so similar, as our mission here is to advance the aftermarket one shop at a time. Hopefully, we've dragged a few people over the line in thinking about doing something like this for their company. And excuse me, I don't care if you have a small company or you have a large company, getting together, sharing ideas and stories, bringing in trainers, and establishing your culture to a degree that sometimes it's not as elevated as it should be.
It just takes a little bit, you just got to put the effort into it. You can start small. You don't have to do a big event like this, but I mean, just knowing, I think your people seeing that you care enough to do something like this it's a huge thing. And I think that's the biggest part of it.
Just unbelievable stuff. Matt, you've always been so kind to come on and share the great things that are going on with you and your company and in your world. Thank you for this. I was really inspired, and I do believe many other people are going to be also. Matt Lachowitzer from Matt's Automotive Service, points all over North Dakota and Minnesota. Thanks for being here, my friend.
Thank you.